Hey guys, it's your girl Kizzy Rock, and yes, Kizzy Rock is my birth given name. Happy Thursday. Want to say hey to all my subscribers. New as well this season. I got a word for you. Tap in. Happy Thursday morning, guys. So, if the last season haven't taught us anything, it taught us that we have control on absolutely nothing. On absolutely nothing. A lot of us discovered that the promise doesn't look like what we thought it would look like. A lot of us realized that people we thought would be in our lives will not be in our lives. A lot of us thought that certain relationships that were, well, just, I guess we can tie all that in, if you will. But the point of the matter is, we have control over nothing. And people who have trauma, let it be rejection issues, abandonment issues. This is a very, very difficult thing because you're typically always in survivor mode. And when you're in survivor mode, you have to control everything because controlling it makes you feel safe, right? You can put like these protective guards up around certain things when you're able to control it. But what happens when God removes those protective guards? Then you get triggered because you feel like you don't have control of whatever the thing is. But truth of the matter is, God has control of everything. Learning to practice the power of detachment is extremely important, especially now. Meaning you fully surrender. And when you surrender, you don't go back and keep putting your hands in it. Because if you're like me, right? Like you're going to surrender. I'm better now, but you're going to surrender. And then 2 days later, you're asking God, like, is it ready yet? Is it ready yet? Can I see something? Can I see something? Right? I'm speaking about fully surrendering. And sometimes experiences have to teach you this, right? Because you get to the point where you realize that a lot of the things that you like, you'll get to the point where you realize that there's absolutely nothing you can do. So fully detaching from the perspective of what you think, meaning you thought a certain person wouldn't hurt you. You thought a certain person would be this way. You thought a certain person wouldn't do this because you wouldn't do that. When you fully surrender, right? When you fully detach, it is what it is. People are just people. My heart is guarded. You disappointed me, but it's not going to affect my life so you have to just let people be. You have to let things be. Let things flow naturally. And you have to trust and believe that where everything's flow is literally in alignment for what God has for your life. The issue is when we want to try to create these blueprints, and then when things don't really work out the way we think it should work out, then we feel like everything is an attack. We feel like this, we feel like that. And a lot of that stuff is just us, just flesh. Again, just triggers, things like that. But truly, a lot of that times is God just releasing certain things that he knows not beneficial to our lives, things that's going to hurt us in the future or hurting us now, and we just don't have the whatever we need to let it go. So he will start allowing things to just leave your life, and it feels like punishment. It feels like torture. It feels like this and this and this and that. And it only feels that way because you can't control the narrative. So we say we trust God, but yet we're trying to control the narrative, right? We're trying to create and stick to the blueprint. And don't get it twisted, right? There's nothing wrong with having plans and goals and things like that. There's nothing wrong with that. That's important. The thing is, you have to be fluid enough to know that if God starts to change that blueprint, change certain things, then you got to flow with it versus swim against the current, which is going to have you constantly triggered, constantly in survivor mode, and fighting against the very thing that he's trying to do. So if he's removing things from your life, if he's removing people from your life, go with the flow. Even though it doesn't feel great, go with the flow. All right. And sometimes with self-sabotage, we can even create some of this stuff, right? We can lose the very blessings that God sends to us with self-sabotage. So even if you lose certain blessings because of self-sabotage, right? And that means you're creating drama around it. You're creating toxic environments because it may be some other internal struggles that you're dealing with. But even if you lose those particular blessings, still go with the flow because it's going to be a lesson learned. If you have to lose 5 great things, right, before you know it, it'll wake you up like, wait a minute, right? Something's really wrong with me. I'm the problem here. I'm the common denominator. So let me connect with the Holy Spirit to see what is the area that I have to change. So you're still going with the flow. So don't sit in that stuff. Don't sit all depressed because you feel like you've lost a great thing, or it's about learning from it so you don't take it to the next season, or you don't squander the next opportunity. Release and trust, because we can't control anything. We can't control anything. Just go with the flow. It's your girl, Kizzy Rock.